one of the most important features of Microsoft Word is the table, and we have learned the home tab, that is about the font and paragraphs. After learning that, we'll go to insert, and in insert you have the table. In the table, there are numerous ways that you can insert the table. So in order to insert the table, first step is to use this interface where you can select the number of columns and rows, which is shown just above it. That is 5:3 or say 4:3. So let's select any number of columns and rows for now, and that is the first step on how you can insert the table. In order to delete a table, you see one icon just on the top corner of the table. Click on that, right click on that, and you can cut that table out. Now the next step is to define your own number of rows and columns. That is going to this option, that is insert table. If you click there, there will be a window where you can insert the numbers of, you can define the numbers of rows and columns. Let me define 4 and 3, that is numbers of rows is 3. So I'll click OK, and you have the table there. Now in a table, suppose if you want to insert a new column or a new row, for inserting a new row, all you have to do is go to the last row or the last line and press tab key in your keyboard. And the other option is to right click on any area of the table and go to insert, and in the insert you'll find insert rows above or below. So for now I want to insert a row just below the last row, so I'll click on that, and you'll see that one row has been inserted. Now in order to insert a column on the starting or in the beginning, just before this column or after this column, so let's say I want to insert a column just after this one, so I'm going to click on that area and go to insert and insert the rows, go to insert and insert columns to right. That will let you to insert a new column. So after making the table and after adding the desired number of the rows and columns, you might want to type. So for typing, it can either be some numbers. You can move around the table or from one cell to another by using the navigation key or by using the tab key. By navigation key, you can move from up or down, left to right. But when you use the tab key in your keyboard, it moves from one cell to another cell one by one. You can use either of those, or you can also use the mouse click in order to select the cell in which you want to type. So it can be the numbers, or for such kind of numbers, or if it is a serial number, let's say this is a serial number. So for such kind of numbers, you can, in the home itself, you can select the column and give a numbering of which you want to add. So that comes as a serial number. And in here, it can be a text, or it can be a symbol, or it can be a formula. So you can add any of those characters in a cell. Another important factor of a table is merging and splitting. So let's see how we can do merging and splitting. Let me cut this. Okay, and we'll insert a random table. So in this table, the table can be resized from the corner. So if you resize from any of this area, you will see that only part of the cell is resized. That is the last row only. So if you want to resize the whole part of the table, go to the last ending corner. When the diagonally aligned cursor sign comes up, you click on the table and drag it down or up in order to resize it. It can also be brought to the left or to the right, depending on how you want it to be. So let's try to merge some part of the cell. I want to merge this part. Right click on that area, and you can see the option in here that is merge cells. Click on that. So you can see the cells has been combined into just one cell. That is called merging. Now for the splitting option, let me write this one as merged, and these are just cells only. So in a table, whenever there are some text and you want to copy those part of the cell, you can select those text, and if you paste here, you can see that both of them has been pasted. So that one I'm going to follow for the whole part. Okay, so I'll copy this, Control C, Control V for copying and pasting. Right after doing that, inside the cell also you can apply the shortcuts for alignments, that is Control E for center align, Control R for right align. So for now I need center align, so it is been aligned to the center. But more about the alignment of the text in the table we'll discuss a bit later. Now we have seen how to merge the cell. Let's say I want to split this particular cell. So for that you can right click, and as you can see there is another option for splitting the cells. So click on that, and you want to split either the row or the column. So let's say I want to split the column, so the number of columns will be 2, it will be met. So I want to make it 2 columns, that is it will be splitted vertically. So for that it has to be 2. Okay, it doesn't mean that it has to be 2 only, it can be more than that. So I can right click split cells, and it can be 3 or 4. So you can see the cell has been split into 4. So this was for split. The splitting option can also be applied not just vertically, it can also be horizontally. So let's try out that one here, split cells. And for that one, for splitting horizontally or making the rows 2, you can make the number of columns as 1 and number of rows as 2. Click OK. As you can see, we have 2 rows under that cell that has been splitted. Now as soon as I click on the table, you will see that there are 2 more extra tabs that has come out. And the first one that is under that, the first one is the design, which is mostly for the designing of the table with the colors of the cells and the borders. So you can select any of these themes, just like this one here. But suppose if you want to color it on your own, I want to color this particular cell, so you can go to shading on this area and color that particular cell. And like that, you can also color multiple part of the cell. You can select dot multiple part of the cell and go to shading again, and here you can color that the whole part of the cell that I have selected. In order to color the border lines, you can go to pen color here and select the color that you want to make the border. So by using the draw table on the pen there, I can click on this area so that it becomes red color. Let me increase the point of the line so that you can see it. See, so this is one of the way that you can color the borders. But if you want to make the changes to whole part of table, then you can right click on that small icon of the table and go to table properties. In the table properties, go to border and shading again, and in there you'll see the style of the line, the point or the width of the line. So here I'm going to change it to 3 points, and you can also change the color from here. Let's say I want to make it red color, and apply here. There are some options there, apply to cell, table and all there. I'm going to select the table, and remember to select all also, and click OK. So you can see the border color has been affected in the whole part of the table. Now the next one, the layout, is mostly about the text. It has to work with the text. So suppose if I want to align all this text that I have typed here exactly to the center of the cell, then I can select whole part of the table by just clicking on that icon, and in the layout you'll see there, this is the alignment part, but I want it to be the center, but in the center also, from left to right also center. So if I click there, it has been aligned exactly to the center of the cell. And in this option again, you have the option to change the direction of the cell. So for that, I will select this area and go to text direction, and there you can see that text direction has been changed. So you can click once more to keep on rotating those texts. So this is the normal one, this is the upside down, and this is from down to up. In order to copy and paste a table, you have to select the whole part of the table, which can be done with the mouse, but you can also right click on that icon and copy it. After copying that, do not just paste it, because when you do that, you can see the board of the table has been joined together again. So in order to avoid that, after copying the table, you can come down to, you can go to any area and make sure that there is at least a line kept between the two tables. So you make sure your cursor is just at least one line. There's one line here, there's another line here, so I'm going to paste here. You can use the shortcut Ctrl+V. So that is how you can copy and paste a table.